Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. IslamTalk of Farina Siddique. Da'wah illallah is a privilege. So if you're in this line of duty, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all times. There is 0% room for personal pride, for arrogance, for ego. So remember this: when you're entering this field and you want to call yourself, you want to have the privilege to call yourself as a dawah carrier, remember to check your inside, check your heart, check your brain, check your nafs, that you must remove all ego, all pride, all arrogance from your heart. Remember Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's hadith about arrogance. If your focus is dunya, then you don't worry about this. If your focus is Jannah, if your aim is Jannah, if the motive is Jannah, and through the seeking of Allah's pleasure, then there is no room for ego or pride. You can agree with your dawah carrier brothers and sisters. You can disagree with your dawah carrier brothers and sisters. You can work in a jama'ah or without a jama'ah. But do not take this as a personal thing. Dawah collectively brings us together with one focus, seeking Allah's pleasure, with one goal, establishing Allah's deen, with one motive, going towards Jannah, towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we belong to Allah and we go back to Allah, right? If that is the focus, then there is no personal ego, there is no personal pride, there's me, me, myself, and those kind of things. We're not doing it for the sake of our resume development, we're not doing it for our degree, we're not doing it for a career. We're doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this temporary world. There is no personal ego, there is no personal attack and everything. So if you are part of dawah, remember your privilege. We are among the handful of people who are actually seeking Allah's pleasure by working towards establishment of Allah's deen. If you're part of that, alhamdulillah. If you don't want to be part of that, if you want to leave, remember that you don't leave dawah. Dawah actually doesn't want you anymore. So remember this, and when you are detached from a jamaat, detached from a movement, detached from any group, detached from any dawah project, please keep your mouth closed. Do not malign your brothers and sisters. Do not taint your honesty and your service to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's my message to all dawah carriers. If you like this message, share it with other dawah carrier brothers and sisters, and be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when speaking about anybody. Be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when speaking against anybody. Because Allah is watching over all of us. And we as dawah carriers should remember this first and foremost. May Allah bless you all. May Allah accept all your sincere service. And may Allah forgive all of our shortcomings. Jazakallah khair for listening.